Wow, thank you, Callie. I love the energy that she infuses into presentations, which is really, the heart of those presentations is the feeling that people leave with. So today we're going to talk about the close. And on your rank map, you can see the close column, those steps 8 through 10. That's what we're going to talk about now, because this is really our intention as we're inviting and as we're presenting is to get to that ultimate goal of getting them enrolled and empowered with oils in their own home. So Callie already did a beautiful job of identifying and talking about the different enrollment options and with the enrollment kits. Now we also want to give them the enrollment option of their path with doTERRA. Now remember that you probably already just blew their mind with the possibilities and the power of these amazing essential oils. So sometimes people really are unsure of where they want to go from there. So we want to identify these options in an easy to understand manner of how it would apply in their lives. And if you look on page 14 of your launch guide, there's an easy to follow script there that identifies and creates the value in the option of just implementing them into their own home, or perhaps sharing with other people, or even taking the option to build the business. And I've noticed when you create that natural flow and it's an option-based, focused on what's best for their needs and not what's best for our neediness, then people feel at comfort and at ease at making that decision instead of feeling like they're being pressured to something. And if you want to get more comfortable with that word track, watch the 3 Pathways video on the launch webpage. Now after we've given them these options and their enrollment kit, we're going to actually walk around the room to give them an individualized personal experience and helping them decide what kit is best for them. And we're going to do this by addressing 3 main questions. The first question is, what are you working on? And they've already filled out the portion of their class guide that talks about their health priorities. And so it's really simple for you to go into that and start talking about those, asking questions about those. And this is a perfect time for you to point them into the reference guides or the website where they can look up these individual priorities to find which oils are going to best fit their needs. After we've discussed these health priorities with them, we're going to lead in to a very identifying question, just by asking them, how serious are you about resolving these things right now? And I feel like this is a key question in your conversation that allows them to really reflect, and it makes it about them and not about us. And so that gives you an idea how serious they are. And if they're like, I don't know, I'm not that serious, then you're probably going to start them off with a smaller kit. They're just wanting to get a few oils in their hands, try them out. Maybe that's the Family Physician kit, the Home Essentials kit. If they're, just very, very excited and enthusiastic about, I want to get these oils in my hands right now. I am so serious. I want to do whatever it takes to help up-level the health in my home. Then you know that they're ready to really dive in and maybe go for some of those larger kits that gets more options into their hands. And I feel like this is such a key question as you walk around the room that will really help differentiate that for you. And it puts the ball in their court and makes them feel empowered that it's up to them to decide how serious they are. The third question that we're going to address, or the third statement we're going to address, is, if I were you, then I would do this. We already have talked about what their health priorities are. We've identified how serious they are, and sometimes people just need to be pointed in the right direction. And so you can take that information and make a determination of what you think might be the best kit for them and lead into, if I were you, I would do this. And that's going to make it very simple, because when people don't know what to do, they're not going to do anything. And some people get very overwhelmed with the amount of information they've already heard and the decisions placed before them. They're just really not sure, and they want to make the best decision for their home. So you can help them along that path by telling them what you would do, and they see you as an expert and a knowledgeable person that is there to help service them according to their needs. And if they ask you a question or have a concern that you don't know the answer to, that's okay, because you know where to find it, you know where to look. You can go to your references, you can go to your upline and just validate their concern or their question and say, I'm not sure that's a good question, let me look into that and I'll get back to you. And that's completely fine to do. Now, after they've determined which kit they want and they're through the enrollment process, this is where I feel like the real fun begins, because now we get to take them on that next step in their doTERRA journey. And they've identified which path they feel best fits their needs. And so from that, you can serve them accordingly. And once they've enrolled, now is the time that you can plug them into the Share Success Pro app according to the kit that they chose. And this is going to be an amazing tool that supports you in supporting them in their essential oil journey, because it's going to give them the training and teach them how to use all of the oils that came in that kit. It's also going to remind them about their lifestyle overview. It's going to send you a reminder as well to schedule that, and a reminder to check your back office to make sure that they put their loyalty rewards order in correctly. Now, according to which path they determined was best for them in their essential oil journey, you're going to serve them based on that. So for those that are just wanting to implement the oils into their own personal life, we're going to make sure that we get the Live Guide into their hands. The two biggest parts of our business are enrollments and loyalty rewards orders. So these are the key to growing your income and growing your business. So we need to make sure that we pay special attention to show people how to use the oils that they purchased. We never want anything to just be sitting on their shelf. And I've noticed a lot of times people might understand how to use some of the oils because that was talked to about. But with me, when I was using these oils, I remember I'd been using oils in my home for about a year for specific issues. And when I had to take my dog to the vet a few times, I remember driving home thinking, oh my gosh, I wish there was oils for dogs. And as I said that, I realized, okay, wait, there is. What am I doing? And it was just this aha moment that I had them right in front of my face, but I had not realized that I could use them for that. And likewise, many people aren't aware that, they can implement them into cleaning and cooking and all different aspects of their home. And so that Live Guide is really going to help walk them through that, and it's going to help with their lifestyle overview. Then if they're wanting to share and maybe host a couple of classes, we want to make sure that the efforts they put into that gets them the results that they want. If somebody goes through the work of hosting a class or sharing samples, we don't want them to get frustrated. We want them to have a great outcome. And so we want to give them the tools to help create a more effective sharing process so that they're excited by the results and they continue to go down that path and sometimes maybe even want to do more. And likewise, for those that want to build this business, we really want them to feel like they've got a partnership with us. We want to provide them that build guide that shows them the step-by-step tools of how to get started. And for those that want to build this business, we want them to feel like they've got a partnership with us. So many people come from different aspects of life where their backgrounds may vary from a lot of business experience to very little business experience. And so it's important that we show them that mindset of building that pipeline so that they're empowered and they're ready to take on that challenge. We also want to make sure that they're utilizing that build guide. And a build guide is to a business builder like what the class handout is to a product user. It really gives them that overall big picture of what's possible and what they can create in their homes. And from there, you're ready to launch them. And you can put them into your Share Success Pro app so it can walk them through that launch track. And all of the tools that you've learned in this training are what you're going to duplicate with them. And you've got everything at your fingertips. It's on the launch webpage as well as the launch guide. And it's a step-by-step proven system of success. So nobody feels like they need to reinvent the wheel or, they're out there doing all the guesswork. We have top leaders all across doTERRA that have come together to create this system that is very simple and duplicatable. So one more thing that I want to mention as you get your people enrolled and started is that it's going to be really important that you place them correctly according to the path that they have chosen. And you don't need to be an expert in this. All of those tips and factors and considerations are right in your launch guide. And I would recommend that for your first dozen or so enrollments, you consult with your upline and kind of hear maybe some of their insights onto that so that you can position for the most effective growth and support in your team. Now is the fun part. We're going to actually practice. We're going to go to page 15 and we're going to practice those first 3 steps on our keys to close. So if you're at home, then I want you to pause this. We're going to give you about 6 minutes. We're going to practice with if you're in a group, practice with your neighbor, your partner. If you're at home by yourself, practice with your kid, your dog, the mirror if you want. But it is really crucial that you practice this enough to where it sounds natural, because I found the energy completely changes. If you have reservations and this is a really uncomfortable conversation for you to have, the people in the room are going to feel uncomfortable as well. And you can almost, feel the energy completely shift when people want to either skip right past this, or they want to approach it in an aggressive manner or a convincing manner. And so really make sure you take the time to practice this so it just flows natural and it comes authentically with the type of wording that you would use. So go ahead and do that now. How did you enjoy that practice session? Now remember, the more comfortable you are with this verbiage, the more comfortable your new enrollee will be as they listen to and converse with you. So hopefully now you can go on feeling empowered and confident as you're speaking to your new prospects and your new enrollments, so that you can get them set up with the right kit for them and on that new path that best fits their needs and positioned in a place in your team that gives them the best support. Now I'm really excited to introduce Kristen Van Wey, who's going to go over a system review for you guys. And Kristen is really amazing. She's this very passionate, holistic healer who is a mama of 7 children. And so obviously she's very good with organization, and she understands having systems in place so that people can be very efficient and effective. And that's really what we want to instill with you guys as you go through this process. So welcome, Kristen.